health and wellness from exercise to diet, etc. So they've got some really nice little presentations too. So we have a packed thing. So what I'm going to be talking about is the partnership. Chad is a partner of ours. We are partners of yours, many of our clients here. You want to find, when you're looking for your vendors, a partner that has like-mindedness of you. That is someone that is going to be the wind beneath your wings, right, Janelle? Janelle is fast and furious. That girl gets more done. I love serving Janelle because she just gets things done. And I have goosebumps right now, actually. Every month, it just boom, boom, boom. We just do so much. And the impact is not only sustainable, it is exciting because she's impacting human beings within her organization. So that is, the partnership is important. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. What is wellness? And it's worth what? I mean, it's unbelievable how much money is spent on wellness, and building a culture of wellness and safety, forming a wellness team, compliance, a little bit of compliance, internal branding, and results of wellness to your bottom line. So those are the things that I'm going to get into. As you all come here, luckily we were all able to consolidate into one room. Usually we have to split and have our speakers split, so we were prepared for that. But again, this shows the example of the numbers I'm going to get into in a second. How many people are interested in wellness? More people need to be interested in wellness, so thank you for being here. But I don't really talk about Montage very much. And I just wanted to take a minute and let you guys know who we are if you don't know who we are. A lot of you do because you've experienced us. That's more important to me. That we're not up here just, we're the slick broker. That's not us. We want you to experience who we are. These sessions that we put on monthly are free to you. You get HRCI credit, and it's about the continued education for all of us. That's what I love, and that's what we really are about. And these are just some of the things. So you will see that the team at Montage and our partners are passionate about what we do. And we're just not insurance brokers. We are wellness consultants, safety consultants, HR. I tried the SPHR and I failed. I'm not HR. I'm a CEO, I'm not HR, but I love HR. But I have so much respect for you because it's not easy what you do in analyzing quickly situations. You never know what's going to show up at your door every day, right? You don't know. So you deal with wellness as well, and a lot of it's mental health, a lot of it is life. This is why we have a chaplain here.
Right.
In our company, and we're expanding in another wing over here, and we're growing, but still I try to keep the company tight and smaller because we're a consulting firm. And I'm amazed at how life impacts our company. It does. Employees go through a lot, so they need that kind of support, and you are their support, so you need support, right? You need that wind beneath your wings, that's the way I like to describe it. But anyway, so global wellness, this was in 2015. It's gone way up from that. We all know that, right? But it's $3.7 trillion in 2015. Dollars spent on wellness. This is global wellness. But if we look at this, beauty and anti-aging, $999 billion.
Hello.
Hello. Rubbing that cream in. Listen, it makes a difference. Do this. I learned that with Mary Kay years ago. I do this every morning and night, right? Fitness, mind, and body. Brian can relate to that. I'd like to know what he spends. $542 billion, on your camping gear, your hiking gear, and
everything.
all of that.
Your Fitbits and
I try to help with the Fitbits and with the 24-hour fitness and things like that. Healthy eating, nutrition, weight loss, $648 billion. I mean, it's unbelievable. Preventative and personalized medicine and public health, $534 billion. And again, these are unfortunately 2015 numbers. This just gives you a different way to look at it in your presentation. But as employers, culture counts, right? There's a lot of talk about culture. What is culture? Culture simply is. You cannot espouse culture. I know. I've tried. No, it just simply is. And the beauty of it is every time we get a new partner in here, a new employee that comes and joins Montage, it just shifts a little. It expands it. It just moves. It ebbs and flows, right? Culture just simply is. But what we can do is inspire our employees and in this wellness area. But I think that, I've studied culture for years. At Pepperdine, I got my MBA program, and I don't even know how old I was. I think I was 55 or something in 2012. To tell you how old I am, 62. It's no secret. Because, I'm proud of how old I am. I have nothing to hide, I remember Mary Kay, back to speaking about her, I'm from the South, so she says, a woman never tells her age, or she'll tell you everything. I'm that person, I'll tell you everything. What do you want to know? It's so funny, she described me. I don't need to hide it. My mother never hid her age, so why? I'm a woman, I'm 62, I'm active, I've got plenty of years in front of me. Unfortunately, my husband would love to retire. He's a little older than I am, and no, honey, we're on a road. We are on a journey, So anyway, but I've studied it for years, and I've always said, I've worked for many brokers in the past, and I kept looking for more. I was looking for partnership. I wanted to give my clients everything I could. I wanted to give them the best pricing on their workers' comp and on their benefits. I wanted to do everything they needed me to do. When I first started this business, I was an actress. And someone asked me, and I did an interview yesterday, it was this lady, I don't know, she's got Proxy or something. I'm looking up like, what is Proxy? I didn't know what that was. But anyway, or Moxie. I think it was Moxie. Moxie, not Proxy. I'm like, what is this? But anyway, it was interesting because she, researched. She was, and I see you were an actress and blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. She said, what did you learn from it? And I thought, I've never been asked that before. But I think I learned how to listen. When I started this business, I didn't know anything about it, so I needed to learn it. So I went out and I listened to HR people. What do you need? What do you need? What do you want? What is your vision? That's always usually, my employees can tell you, the first thing I ask is, what is your dream for this year? What do you want to accomplish? And then I know, what the strategy is. I kind of know what they want to do. So I think that's important. So my clients begged me, please, Danone, start your own company. And I did. And I had a CFO at my DVD manufacturer found my furniture for a really great deal. And then I had a machine shop since February 1st of 1998. And he called me while I was in the middle of trying to figure out how to get all this furniture from Anaheim, to Woodland Hills. And he said, well, I have a truck and a couple of guys. This is the president of my machine shop. So God bless them. And I said, well, how can I repay you? He goes, just buy me a 6-pack of beer. I'm good. And I was like, no problem. But anyway, so it's like this company began because of our clients, loyal clients. Like Janelle's been a client of mine for years, and many of you are newer clients, and thank you. And some of you, like Norlee from Malibu Press, years we've been together. Montage won the best places to work for the LA Business Journal, small business, and I was hosting that. It was one of the sponsors. So they said for an hour, they talked about, how do we tell Danone? Do we tell her? Do we not tell her? If we don't tell her, she'll look at the list and go, where's Montage? We dropped off the list. She goes, we can't do that. So anyway, they debated. Finally, they did tell me, and we ended up winning, and so it was just such a wonderful honor. So you think, okay, how did we get there? It was a journey. It took us several years. First of all, you had to start with 9 employees. That was the number. I really wanted to be on that list because LA Policeman, Federal Credit Union was on that list, and Janet shared with me. Janet was my very first client. She's going to join us later in this business, and God bless her. We're still, I still serve her now on only workers' comp. I'm trying to get the benefits, but they've got a political deal. We got to get rid of that political deal. But anyway, and it happens sometimes, right? Sometimes you guys, I just had it happen with one of my HR people. Where you're like, I'm supposed to be in control of this, but you've got an E-team up there that is saying, no, we want you to do this. It's about the money, or it's about political, whatever it is. And it's a lot you guys go through, so I do feel for you. But here at Montage, so I do pay for 24-hour fitness. We have yoga classes because I need them and I'm busy. So I have my yoga instructor. We just plow out wherever it is and do our downward facing dog. And any employees that want to join can. We also, I realize we're going into fourth quarter, which is a really stressful kind of busy season for us. So I asked Danny, I should have invited her. Darn, well, some of you have met her. But anyway, she's doing breathing classes and stretching classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the morning for 30 minutes. And I just went to a conference for women and women's health, actually, and it was wonderful. There was a doctor up there. We're going to get into this mindfulness and what the carrier's perspective is today. And you guys are going to be so excited on what the carriers are doing. Finally, my mother was born in Shanghai, China, so I've always had an Eastern philosophy when it comes to health and wellness. But anyway, so this breathing exercises, according to this doctor that was up on stage that works for one of the IPA groups in San Diego, she is from India. She's been doing yoga her whole life, and she was saying that they've been doing a lot of studies on yoga, and the breathing and the deep breathing literally changes your brain.
Amen.
It makes your brain healthier.
Right.
And it's not just the philosophy of yoga, because I mean, some of it I think is fascinating, and I've always had, my mom always had a little Buddha around the house, and you know, it was just artifact from China, but the just the breathing, the Unaji breathing, which is just deep in your throat, and you do that 10 minutes a day, even 5 minutes a day. According to this doctor, it will change literally the brain in terms of making it healthier because of Alzheimer's and things like that. We don't want to forget this beautiful world and all the wonderful things we've accomplished in our life and our family. My Lord, none of us want to go there, right? So how do we prevent that?
Right.
This is a way. So, and the carriers are getting into that. But anyway, and now it's just keeping up with that. Facts: only 9% of 3 billion plus global workers have access to some type of workplace wellness programs at work. Hello? We have 40 and 50 people at some of our seminars where we have to go into hotels if we have that many. It's unbelievable. Now, safety tends to grab more because of such a cost with safety. But I'm amazed, and look at this. I think this is an example of how many people are really interested in this. They don't understand the impact. Everyone has a right to work in a healthy, safe environment. All of your employees, right? So how do you begin to inspire it? It's an employee mindset. It's an employer mindset, but also an employee mindset. We are responsible for conducting work in a way that improves our wellness and the wellness and safety of others. I chase my employees out of here. You know, like my Anna Maria, some of you have met her. You'll have to meet the team. They're just amazing if you haven't met them. And she'll say, oh, I'm going to work on Saturday. I'm like, really? All right, well, give me a call. She'll call me. How you doing? I'm tired. Great, stay home. Don't want you to come to work. Please stay home. I chase them out of here. I want you don't need to work late. Our industry, these guys are like attorneys. I mean, they work late in the night. Sometimes I do too. I have to chase myself out of here, you know, and I'll have employees that will come get me and go, okay, Danone, we're leaving. And I'm like, okay, thank you. We have to remind each other. It's not all about work, but building that culture of wellness. Hi, Janelle. So what can you do to get the ball really rolling, right? You form a wellness committee. That's the first thing. And then what is this committee going to do? Well, the first things first is a wellness logo, right? These are a couple of the logos that we designed here. I put mine up, and then I put Janelle's up because I knew she was going to. I was hoping you were going to be here. Said you were going to be here, then you weren't, and then you are. Yeah. But anyway, so this is the Nautilus logo, and they are metro ports, so they're on the ocean. So this was created for her, actually by Christina, who used to work here. Now I have Keisha. But anyway, so it's got the sun on it, and it's nice. So it goes on all the materials. So people see it and they think wellness. This is not just Nautilus, this is wellness. It's internal branding is what you're doing right now, okay? The montage, ours looks like Irma. I told Keisha, is it Irma or is it, who's the new one that's brewing up in Maria? Yeah, Maria. But anyway, it looked like Irma, and I was like, our little, it's our star spun, and it looks exactly like Irma. I have a picture of it, but I like that. So it's a storm of wellness. I'm good with that. I have no problem with that. But these are just some ideas. You can create your own logo. Many of you that are larger companies, you're going to have your own branding, advertising people. But some of you that are smaller companies, if you need help with it, we're happy to help with you. But for our clients, these are some of the extra things that we do. But your team has to be enthusiastic, and obviously it's all volunteers, right? You have to volunteer for it. And the E-team needs to be committed. I don't know if any of you have read Kim Blanchard's 1 Minute Manager. How many of you have read that? A lot. Greatest book. I just read it again. It's one of those books you have to read every once in a while just to remind yourself of how amazing it is. But he talks about the org chart and taking the org chart and turning it upside down. So that the normal, the people that would be on top are now on the bottom. And it's such a great state of mind, because it's a servant leadership style. It helps you realize that it really begins with us, but it's either a drip down effect or it's, again, the wind beneath the wing kind of effect. So, and the team needs to understand there are some HIPAA rules, so there is a little bit of compliance. Obviously, you have to be mindful of that. And then also the education is what is needed to communicate, these communication pieces and constant education to inspire. And I practiced my little piece here on our way to the LA Business Journal CFO event last night, and I had a couple of my finance people. And so I asked everyone, and then Karen, the quietest, I said, Karen, so what did you think? Finally, after directions and everything, I said, I don't want to forget you. What did you think? She goes, well, Don, you're so enthusiastic and you're sincere, but I want data. And so all right, I'm going to really emphasize the data because I went through it, but not quick enough. And it's really important. So I'm going to talk a little more data through her. I thanked her for that, because that's the bottom line, right? Because I get excited about all this stuff, but the bottom line is important. The health club memberships. Some of you say, okay, I have a limited budget. You might not be able to pay for the healthcare memberships, but how can you get them? The carriers have discounts. All carriers have discounts on their websites. So did you have, if you have questions or anything, just let me know. But the comments of these, making sure you're communicating all of those amazing, glorious things. If you haven't checked out your carrier's wellness pages, you need to, because there's a lot. On-site healthcare, we've been doing biometric screening since 2006. One of our clients, it was a large 2,500 group that had nurses throughout the U.S., so they did biometric screenings, and I was like, I love that. Will you bring that in? Let's do that. So we started doing biometric screenings way back when, and we still do them, chair massages, things like that. Not only are they good for health and safety, but what else are they good for? Morale. Employee engagement, presenteeism, right? To prevent absenteeism. People enjoy coming to work when you have an exciting environment. Right? And then also choosing your healthcare plans wisely is important too. So let's get the icky stuff over first. So with the compliance, there's a lot of new laws and it's constantly changing. And part of the reason is because we have HIPAA, we have the EEOC, we have ARP is really involved in this, the ADA, GINA, oh my Lord, and you know more than I know. The list goes on and on of all the governing agencies, and then we have Congress. Yes. Boy, they're fun. It's like, just stay out of our business, please. But they can't. Anyway, so there's that 30% number that you have to monitor in terms of incentive programs. Some of you say, okay, well, we would like to give, how many of you thought about this? We would like to give a more inexpensive premium amount if, in fact, our employees have gone for their preventative. Have you guys kind of thought about that before, right? So then you think, Lord, never mind, how do you monitor that? You're going to be very excited to learn there are so many technologies out there, and a lot of them are expensive. Some of them are little. As a matter of fact, there's a company that we're going to partner with. I got so excited yesterday, I couldn't stand it because this has been a desire of mine, and this is what they do. They track, especially on self-insured programs, but even on fully insured programs, perfectly, beautifully, they can track who has had their wellness and who has not had their wellness. You actually get a list of people, so you can say, great, so we're going to give you a little better premium co-share amount. They also have the disease management. It will tell you, it's unbelievable, almost like 65% in several of their case studies of people don't finish their treatment. Mm-hmm. It'll tell you that. So we obviously, you know how it is in self-insured as well as fully insured. You can't nag your employees. That was the other thing that Galia, my controller, was saying. How do you inspire people without making people feel bad? That's what all these laws are about, is that they have to volunteer, right? They have to be a part. So my answer to her was, do a lot of things. People see me in yoga, I'm doing the crow and all these funny things, and they're looking at me like, oh boy, never mind. And or even the downward dog, my rear end stuck in the air, you've seen it. You've done it before with us. I've got her in it. But anyway, so people will say, how do you get people inspired? Because everybody's at different places in their life. And I said, you have to try a lot of things. Yeah. Right, Brian?
Yep.
Yeah, he knows. Wellness committee, and it especially when people are busy. I mean, like pulling them out of their chair. So you have to try a lot of things. Now, my accounting team, who hasn't participated. Hi, Armina. Who hasn't participated in a lot of things. She just shows up. Anyway. They're doing the breathing and the stretching. It's stretching and it's breathing, and it is this, but this is amazing for your shoulders. If you guys want to do that for a minute, it's hard to do, my coat is tight, but just to do this, it releases your shoulders. It's unbelievable. It just releases your shoulders. And I have a great yogi if anybody wants to borrow her. And if your clients, that's something that we would pay for you in some of those sessions. So studies on the wellness programs, you'll see them everywhere. They're everywhere. So much information. I could spend months researching. That's the one thing I learned at Pepperdine too, was research. But the Wall Street Business Journal, wellness programs increases workers' productivity. That presenteeism, right? They're seeing this. SHRM, how the right benefits keep workers happy. Benefits are important. Business Fitness Challenges nets 129-pound weight loss. This is another company. That might not be a lot, but that was 111 participants, right? You don't know what it is that's going to inspire all these beautiful, diverse, different human beings in your organization. Some of them have maybe a little more weight, so it's really hard to bend down. And you've got to learn, or some of us from dancing, running, for me it was jogging, your knees kind of hurt, so you have to be careful with the running and jogging on knees. I mean, we all have different aches and pains, right? So, but I want to tell you, the other thing, I'm not going to sell yoga up here, but I had a whiplash years ago, and I'm telling you, I have no problems with it. 0, 0, 0. Yoga really, there's so many stories and studies of how it really helps to heal the body. And so there's a lot of things out there that you can inspire, but so you have to bring a lot of different things. But the big, bad, ugly black cloud in our world, in the United States, are the prescriptions, right? 30% of prescriptions are never filled. And why is because they're too expensive. Thank you, Norley. They're so expensive. And also people are like, okay, I have to take this prescription, and then I have to take this prescription because of the after effects of that prescription. And oh my Lord, it goes on and on. So I have this little bitty quick video I want to share with you guys.
A few months ago, I had a rash on my arm, and my doctor prescribed a generic cream that had 2 active ingredients in it. Shortly after he electronically sent that prescription to the pharmacy, my phone buzzed with a text message telling me that it was going to cost me $103, which seemed way too high to me. Now, what if I received a second notification letting me know that these 2 creams, with the exact same ingredients sold separately, could be purchased for $6. And then if I applied the two creams the same way, I'd get the same result, and I'd save 94% of my money. But we've set up this system like a hardware store, where you could buy a bolt for $1 and a nut for $1, but then somebody packages the nut and the bolt together, and now the price is $50, and you can't find that old dollar display anywhere.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to pause for a minute, and Janelle and I've worked with Janelle at another company, so when she went to this company, she brought me on board, and we immediately took the show on the road, and we talked to all the employees at the different sites about pharmaceutical, because their pharmacy, may I say a few numbers?
Yeah, please.
Was in a couple $1 million range. So we knew we needed to get the word out. And there weren't enough people getting their physicals. Because you can imagine who's working on the ports, right?
Right.
Real men's men, a lot of them. There's a lot of ladies in the company too, but a lot of real men's men, and those are the worst, like my husband, to get to the doctor. Now he goes, he's been better. It's taken me it's years, 36 years, he's finally went. But it takes a long time for these people to go, because they're like, I'm fine, I want to go to the doctor. They're going to find something wrong, I don't want to know, right? It's like, no, wellness is really important. We took the show out on the road. The very next year, not even a year later, when we did our review before your next year renewal, $1 million savings
Wow.
by just taking the show on the road, educating employees about generic. Generic prescriptions have been on the marketplace for 7 years or more. They're tried and true. There's more medical evidence. Brand drugs are brand new drugs. They've been around for a less period of time. There's not as much medical evidence. Pharmaceutical companies who are billion and trillions of companies, you can look at their 10Ks. That's how I got some of the data later I'm going to talk about. But you can look at their 10Ks and see how much they earn. So what happens is that these pharmaceutical companies are the ones that are making all of the money.
Right.
So you explain to people, try the generic first because it's tried and true. If it doesn't work, then you can get the brand name drug. Blue Shield calls it stepping. Some carriers require for you to do that step process. Especially if you're self-insured, you have to inspire these things through great educational pieces, right? But that is just the one story, and you heard the number of employees that she actually covers, because a lot of them are union. And it was profound, the amount of impact that we had. It's really important. But I think through these newsletters and all these different things, I'm going to lose my way, it's real important. So Nautilus is my example, one of them. For some reason, I just found her stuff quickly, and it's so pretty. But my well-being and safety news, those of you that are clients of ours, we can, if we're not doing it now, most of us we are, but we can brand it for you. I don't need to be the superstar. I never have been. As a matter of fact, when I was an actress, I was a starlet. I didn't want to be a star. Same thing. I'm not the star of the show, you are. So we want to brand this to you. Now, Keisha and the team do a really great job of all of these different finding wellness articles and things. Flyers, for your events. You can see her beautiful logo there. And then also healthy tips. We've had wonderful chefs teach how to cook fresh vegetables to people. Also, he did a barbecue for them. Health fairs, flu shots, Inspire Preventative through the worksite programs such as accident, hospital indemnity, and critical illness. Don't be afraid of that deductible. Honey, I have a $6,000 deductible and I'm fine. I've been on that plan for years because I have an HSA. I like to save my money. I'm good. But I will tell you, you better believe I've got these programs because they're front dollars, and it's okay. The IRS said it's okay. I broke my toe about 8 weeks ago. I got a check for $200. My copay was 10 or 15. Anyway, so you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're incentives. You go to the wellness, you get your wellness, that lovely colonoscopy. You're going to get paid for those things. And you get paid way more than what you have to pay out. So that's what helps. That's what helps these consumer-driven health plans. Mindfulness, we talked a little bit about that with the carriers are getting into this. They are getting into this with their plan designs. I'm not going to do this one for the sake of time because you've got to hear Toby. But on cms.gov, there is a little quick 3-minute video on these accountable care organizations, ACOs. These are narrow networks. You go, oh gosh, I don't want a narrow network. Oh no, the narrow networks are UCLA and Cedars, by the way. They're HMOs, and they're the best of the best doctors. These doctors that we heard at this event from San Diego, unfortunately, I was like, I want her to be my doctor. She was so amazing. They said that the way healthcare has been paying out fee for service is an old style. It's not working. We need to create change. These ACO models, the doctors get paid a part of the profit. They treat the human being. They don't get paid fee for service, get paid for giving you a pharmaceutical, writing a prescription, get paid for a surgery, get paid for these things. Surgeries are the big ones. They want to do as many surgeries as they can in the model today. Well, in this model, they get paid for treating the human being, and they get incentives for their higher ratings. So they're going to spend time with you. They're going to care about you. It's a really brilliant model. So if you haven't heard about it, CalPERS has been doing it for years. For self-funded, it's a really important network to have in. It's a water cooler effect, like HSAs for years ago. Some HSAs don't take off, but if people are successful with it and they learn how to use it and they use it wisely, it starts this water cooler effect within your organization. But this delivery of care is starting to change. You're going to see in the news, prescriptions alone, 14 common medications have increased by 20 to 85%.
Yeah.
The corporate blame game is who's the blame.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's these middlemen is what a lot of fingers are pointing to them, but then four fingers are pointing back to the pharmaceutical companies, right? But the middlemen, here's one company I searched there. You can go 10K, the name of the company if it's public, 10K, and it'll give you their financials. Cardinal Health, they had $8,500,000 invested in Cardinal Health, with $5.3 billion went to shareholders. Hello.
Yeah, right.
There's no product here. They're the middleman. They're getting the pharmaceutical into the doctors. They're the, this is really big dollars, guys. And then of course the overdose. I can't even get into that topic, so I made it very small so I wouldn't. This is serious stuff.
Yeah, right.
Drugs are serious. They're serious what you put in your body. And these are some of the facts. I'll give you one. I can't pronounce it. Do you know how you can't pronounce the names of prescriptions? What is that? You can imagine, like my mom at 85, she had 5 or 10 of them, and I'm like, I don't even know how to pronounce them. You have to carry this list, and then the doctor looks at them, and you lose your list, and you get there and you go, I don't know what I'm taking, and they're like, okay, we'll take this.
Yeah.
We'll add this to the pie. You know that. Tell all of your employees to go to one pharmacy, because that pharmacy has software where they will look at all of your prescriptions to make sure that they're chemically able to go together, right? That's real important, because some people go to one pharmacy and another pharmacy and another pharmacy, and they have problems, and I can't even tell you how many stories, because I'm going to sit up here and cry about clients like Janelle, other past clients. You probably remember Jeff Nelson, the real tall guy, that had passed away from these things, getting too many prescriptions in his body from going to too many pharmacies. But we're transforming healthcare today. It is happening from the doctor to the pharmacist to the hospital to vendors, technology. This technology is the data analytics I was telling you about. Here shows you they had 996 total of, I think they had about 650 employees in this example. So the members are the family, right? They had 996 getting their prevention because of this data. They've been working on it. You're not getting your preventative, just an email. Please make sure you get your preventative, how important it is, blah, blah. And look at those numbers. I don't see those numbers very often. That's really good. Gaps in care. They had 387 people stop their care. Now, they could have stopped their care because they're getting on the wellness train. And they said, you know what? I don't want to take these meds. I'm not going to be stuck in this my whole life. I'm going to go out. I'm going to embrace life. I'm going to walk. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat better. You know, so maybe there's some of that going on. I don't really know, but that's the disease management portion of it. This software, oh, that's the same slide. It gives you different like total cholesterol numbers, HDL, the different cholesterol levels, tobacco, and they had 19 people that were at risk on tobacco. At Janelle's, there's a lady there that stopped smoking. And every time I see her, she used to always say X amount of days, and now it's been a couple years, and she's like 2 years without smoking now. And I love her. I love talking with her. It's such an inspiration to me. But that's what you guys can do. Also, mental health is huge. There's diabetes, you know, there's cancer, the big one's heart. Those are the three big ones. Childbirthing is very important. Young moms taking care of themselves. But also mental health is huge. That's where our chaplains come in. The EAP. I'm at fault on this myself, and I'm just so sad. But, you know, life hits. I have Gloria here, but also you have that EAP. Make sure it's not just collecting dust on the shelf somewhere, that you're really getting that out at all of your events. We make sure the travel card even. There's so many wonderful benefits that we can package in for free. But that employment assistance program is amazing for mental, financial, and legal assistance for your employees. And it's a hotline to professionals. Now we're going to get to the cost savings, and this I think is one of my last slides. Flat renewal, right, Janelle? Yeah. I'll let you tell the deal. I already talked about the $1 million in savings. So how do you think we got, what was the original renewal? Do you remember? It was like, do you remember? It was like 13.9. She didn't even remember, thank God. It just disappeared from her little mind. No, we've got a few 23, you guys were like at 32% when I first met you that first year. So in 3 years, we got her from a 32% to a flat renewal. Honey, this isn't just sitting on your laurels. This is not just about showing up once a year and going, oh, here's your presentation, here's your renewal. Oh, I'm so sorry you have a 30% renewal, or oh, I'm so sorry you have a 10.9% renewal. That is not what we do. Have you met Ed Legande? Yeah. Have you met Tobias Kennedy? You should meet every one of these human beings, these precious human beings that work here. They are so passionate, because it's not just about you, right? Well, it's about you, but it's not just about the CEOs of the companies and saving the company money. It's about saving that single mother with 3 kids, right? There's our bottom line. My focus is right there. It's on the employees and their children, you know, their costs, because now they're sharing in the cost. Thank you so much, Janelle, for doing that. But, so what are those drivers? It's us. We have to create the change. Brokers, carriers, your employees and their families, diversity, different cultures. We have different faiths and religions. We have some people that don't one gal that she doesn't enjoy the birthday parties, but she loves the anniversaries. It's all good. You know, everybody's different. We all have to honor all these beautiful differences. I love diversity, and I think because my mom was born in Shanghai, I just didn't even understand. What is it? What is your problem? Help me understand. This person's got gorgeous eyes that go right into that beautiful heart of theirs. I don't even know what you're talking about, right? I mean, just see the heart through the eyes of the human being. And that's why you have to try different things in your wellness program. It's not just about this one thing. It might have been that vegetarian chef that got him. It could have been that he came back and he did a barbecue. Maybe that got him. Maybe it was the prescription conversation. Maybe it was me being mama going, hey guys, go get your wellness, go get your checkup. Don't you care about being here for your beautiful children your whole life? Don't you want to live a full, rich life? Right? It's inspiration, and change can only happen with us. And it's also integration. I talked to you a little bit about Montage. I don't want to go into it, but all of the things that we do employee benefits, workers' comp, everything. We have the Think HR, so we give you the tools you need, which have webinars on it. A lot of brokers do that, but I just think it's important. We have a TPA in-house, Cobra, ERISA, everything is integrated. Cigna, I love Cigna because it's all integrated. You've got that, remember that critical illness or that accident? I got $200 for my toe. Well, if you have all Cigna, you, especially self-insured, let me tell you, they're one of the, who are you with?
Blue Shield of California.
Blue Shield, they're wonderful. But anyway, we should talk. So, but I'm telling you, if you go and you get in an accident of something like that, they send you a check. You don't have to fill out a claim. I had to fill out a claim. I'm with Unum. It's wonderful. I love Unum. They're a great carrier. There's a lot of great carriers out there. But I'm just saying, this integration model, we're starting to see more of it, and it's exciting. You go and you get your wellness. Well, guess what? They're going to send you a check from the critical illness and maybe the hospital plan you have, etc. Well, I just made $120 because I have 2 plans and I got $120 for going to get my wellness checkup. Talking about incentivizing, did that cost you anything? That's free. Those are voluntary products. If you don't have them, please talk to one of our folks today. We would love to help you with those if you don't have them. Get our party on your train. Because we'll go thing, but this is all of it. Toby, I want to speak, but and then also Montage. We are large group consultants, but we also have a sister company, and Toby happens to be the CEO of some policy, and they do the small group individuals. So when our people go into Cobra, we can also offer them individual plans. If they're going into Medicare, we can help them. So it's that full integration is what we have.
Montage Insurance. Our mission is to further your mission with dedication, service, and integrity while protecting your assets and giving back to our community.